All right, today we're diving into something really subtle but incredibly powerful, the 5 signs of mental domination and how it can operate completely unseen.
Just let that sink in for a moment. You see, the most effective form of control isn't loud, it's not aggressive, it's quiet, it's persuasive, and a lot of the time it flies completely under the radar. Now, what's so fascinating about this is how it flips our whole idea of control on its head. We're all taught to look for the obvious signs, right? The shouting, the strict rules, the jealousy. But silent domination, well, it plays a totally different game. It uses influence, guilt, conditioning, and this really key concept we're going to get into called frame control.
And that, right there, is the heart of it. This isn't about someone physically locking you in a cage. It's a psychological process where you are slowly and very skillfully convinced to hand over the keys yourself. And the scariest part? You might not even realize it's happening.
Okay, so where does this all begin? Let's break down the very first sign. It all starts with your perception. The whole process kicks off when someone begins to systematically tear down your version of reality and replace it with theirs.
It often starts with something as simple as this. You bring up a totally valid concern, and with just a few words, your entire reality is put on trial. It's that first little seed of doubt designed to make you stop trusting your own instincts.
Or maybe you get hit with this one. A genuine emotional response gets dismissed, gets relabeled as an overreaction. And just like that, what you feel in your gut is invalidated.
And here's the final blow in that pattern. Suddenly, the problem isn't what they did, it's how you interpreted it. You're the one who's confused. You're the one who got it wrong.
You know, this tactic actually has a name. It's called frame control. And let's be crystal clear, these phrases are not meant to reassure you. They are weapons. They're designed to make you question your own sanity. Because once someone else controls how you see the world, they're well on their way to controlling you.
Now, this mental control bleeds into our second sign, emotional conditioning. This one goes even deeper. It moves past your thoughts and right into your body. It's about training your automatic physical reactions to serve their feelings.
I mean, just look at this chain reaction. They get angry, and boom, your stomach drops. You panic. They're sad, and you immediately jump into fix-it mode. They go silent, and you feel this desperate need to chase them. Your nervous system is literally being rewired to react to their moods, not your own needs. You aren't choosing your reactions anymore. You've been conditioned.
And the manipulation gets even more subtle with our next sign, the guilt trap. This is how they control your behavior without ever having to say, do this, or don't do that. They use guilt like an invisible leash.
This slide lays it out perfectly. They don't give you a direct order because you might push back against that. Nope. Instead, they hit you with these indirect statements designed to make you feel bad. You're always busy. I guess I just come last. And what happens? You cancel your plans. You rearrange your life. You put them first. And you do it all by yourself. They never had to demand a thing.
All that guilt leads directly into the fourth sign, psychological submission. And I want you to really ask yourself these questions on the screen. If you find yourself constantly running your own words through a filter to manage their reaction, you've started doing their work for them. They don't need to silence you because you're already silencing yourself.
And all of this builds and builds to the fifth and final sign, which is really the end game of this whole process, transferred responsibility. This is the point where the entire weight of their emotional world gets dropped squarely onto your shoulders.
At this stage, their happiness has become your job. Their stress is now your emergency to solve. If they're unhappy, you feel like a failure. If they pull away, you automatically assume you did something wrong. You've been so deeply conditioned that you start sacrificing your own well-being to manage theirs.
And when their emotional state feels like your personal responsibility, the silent takeover is complete.
But, and this is the most important part of this whole thing, seeing the trap is the first step to getting out of it. This silent domination, it does not have to be a life sentence. You can absolutely reclaim your power.
See, this is why it's all so insidious. It doesn't feel like a prison at first. It feels like compromise. It feels like caring. It feels like empathy or even love. But slowly, over time, you start to realize that you're fading. Your voice, your needs, your sense of self, they're all just disappearing.
So the way back starts here. Reclaim your reality. Trust your own perception.
You know that feeling in your gut that tells you something is off? It's real. Your feelings are valid, even if, and especially if, someone is telling you they're not.
Next up, you have to reclaim your reactions. The first step to breaking that conditioning is just to notice it. The next time they get angry, just pause before you panic. Ask yourself, is this my emotion to carry, or is it theirs? Your reactions need to be a choice again, not an automatic reflex.
And ultimately, that's what this is all about. Reclaiming your life, your choices, your well-being, they belong to you and only you.
These are your new watchwords. Stay aware of these dynamics. Stay sovereign in your own mind and in your own life. Because when you do that, you become untouchable to this kind of silent control.
So I want to leave you with one last question to really mull over. The next time you find yourself silencing your own voice or changing your plans to keep the peace, ask yourself this: whose comfort are you really protecting? Theirs or your own?